Utah Representative Rob Bishop is the chairman of the House Natural Resources Subcommittee on National Parks, Forests, and Public Lands. He should be a public lands expert, right?
Unfortunately, an administration right now that doesn't have quite the same vision for public lands that we do. The very first thing they did was to reduce oil leases, taking them off the table. We have never recovered from that practice yet, even though it was wrong to do it.
Utah oil and gas statistics show that oil production in Utah has actually grown since the Department of Interior took a minuscule percentage of leases off the table in 2009. So what exactly are we recovering from again?
But the bottom line is, even with the federal presence in the state of Utah, you don't add much to our economy.
According to a 2011 report from the Department of Interior, federally owned public lands in Utah draw in 21 million visitors every year to the state. That translates to $1.7 billion for the local economy, as well as 20,319 jobs. Bishop calls that not much.
And it is based, and the reason we fight this issue year after year back in Washington is because 1 out of every 3 acres of the United States is owned by the federal government. And I defy you to find somewhere, anywhere in the Constitution that justifies that.
Not every policy is actually in the Constitution, but the state of Utah agreed to allow the federal government to retain ownership of the lands it already held within Utah when it became a state.
And even when they did start the Forest Service, it was never to try and lock up the forest. It was always to try or to save the forest for critters, as they said. It was to try and make sure the federal government got maximum amount of dollars for the trees that were cut down and sold.
Forest Service expert James G. Lewis says that Bishop has it completely backwards. In less than 2 weeks of public appearances, Mr. Bishop has truly shown his expert status.